Hello everybody, welcome back to Commonwealth Flipper. I had my, what shirt did I have on? I had some ridiculous shirt on, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna do a serious video today. I gotta change to something more serious like Fleetwood Mac. And we've got some awesome sales. I want to show you this today. It'll kind of lead into our topic, something I think a lot of people need to hear. And hey, the little kitty's out here today, and it should be a great episode. Let's go take a look. Yeah, the cat decided to come in here. This cat, you haven't seen this cat. That's Toulouse. He's getting old enough to venture out, and maybe he'll be a shed kitty. I don't know. We got 5 of them, and one of them is, I gotta find this. This one is sweet, y'all. This was on a week where there was not many sales out there. I'm like, you know what? Is it not even in here yet? I might not even have brought it in here yet. That's how fast it sold. Makes me think I sold it cheap. Hold on. No, I brought it out. I just put it in the wrong spot. So this was sitting on a table for 20 bucks. And it was, like I said, it was a slow day. I'm like, that thing's sealed. It's got to be good, right? And I picked it up and I paid for it. And it might have been 25 and I said 20. I don't know. So I don't see anything. Go to the car and look it up. I'm like, holy moly. Used, these are selling for 200. This one was sealed. I put 250 on it. Sold almost well, I don't know, within 24 hours. Construction Camera Pro. That turned an okay day into a very good day. And it's a nice one. Simple, easy to ship as well. $250 plus shipping. All right, if you want to know some truth, my feathers have been ruffled for quite some time. And this has been quite a week. And I'm sure there'll be quite a bit more to come. However, I decided today that I was going to go a different direction. Sonic and the Hedgehog. This is a little comic. Came from the Filipino Flip. $15.15 plus shipping. And speaking of Filipino Flip, where do I have that over here? Here it is. We've done that Sonic sale, and then we sold some more comics earlier today over there. I dibbed it from that lot, and that's up to, so $1,000 has already turned into $2,074. And you'll see I take the fees and stuff off as well. So that actually should probably be a 12, not a 13. But we round up and down. I have mentioned multiple times over the last few videos that things are going well for our business, almost all aspects of it. And every time I do that, I kind of just, I know some of the response, because it's not always like that for a lot of people. And I've been watching my boy play ball lately, and some of the things I tell him. And I want to kind of go over those things. Things don't always go well, y'all. But I am very pleased with how they're going for me right now. But I've been getting responses. This is Elizabeth Arden, New York, 8-hour cream. This is over 20 bucks. This is probably that big buyout in Roanoke we had, plus shipping. I had people tell me, you know, I did a couple videos. I'm like, yeah, this is good. Having a good week or good month on eBay in the summer. You know, August is never really a good month for us. And, you know, September starts to pick up a little bit. And I see a message from somebody saying, you know, congratulations, things are going to, you know, help me out here, because I've made 7 sales this month, and I normally make, you know, 15 to 20 or whatever. And different stories. That's just one story. A lot of stories from people. It's not going well. And yeah, we've got advantages. You know, you'll see viewer sales in here and stuff. And it makes me feel bad, to be perfectly honest with you. And it makes me feel bad to say we're doing good. And I don't want to be there. And, you know, there's a lot of stuff that's going on right now in my life, social media wise and whatever. If you've watched my channel for a while, you know I take things to heart. And I've gotten better about it. And I usually don't even stick up for myself very much, except for in the reselling world, where people tell me, you know, you're a cheapskate and whatever. You know, when it's people I don't know, it's easy. When it's people I know, it hits hard. And I thought, you know what, I want to talk about that today. And I was like, you know what, forget it. I've got things so much better than so many people out there. I'm not going to teach 40-hour week, a bunch of high school kids and whatever. I've got this, and it's because of you guys. So I figured, you know what, let's just flip the script a little bit and talk to the folks out there that might be struggling. And the first thing I always do when I have tough times, I do a few. A couple of them I'm not going to talk about, because, you know, some of y'all might not want to hear it, but I've talked about this one before. I love quotes, I love poems, I love different things that get me back thinking straight. And then, of course, in the reselling side of the business, when things are going tough, how do you react to them? Pop out there mowing the grass. Nice day out there. I love fall. I love fall because sales pick up. So I just want to hopefully be an encouragement to some folks. And, you know, I want to say hi to Pop through the spider web window. Candiria sold for $24.95 plus shipping. one of the things I do is there's a poem, I've talked about it before, If by Rudyard Kipling, along with some other stuff that I do. But it seems like there's always something applicable to this. And like I said, I was talking with my son the other day. Well, you know what? Let's just read. I'll read the portion of it that I think will be helpful, at least what I do when times are tough. Because even when you're successful, there are still things that come up that they're new problems, right? That are different than when you're just struggling and clawing. And a lot of you are clawing out there and you're not seeing the fruit of your labor. I want to encourage you to keep clawing. And we're going to talk about that and different things that I do, like for reselling. But let me do this first. I'll give a little context to it, and then I'll read the part that I'm really important. It's really important here. This is the second stanza of this thing. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and meet with disaster and treat those two imposters just the same, that's the part that always gets me in the reselling side of my business, because sometimes, y'all, even me, that I've got, you know, an audience, you guys out there listening to me right now. I've been doing this a long time. There are bad days. There are bad weeks. There are bad months. And sometimes you don't have that energy. Sometimes maybe you're sick. Maybe you've got some kind of disability. Maybe you're doing it by yourself. I've mentioned this all the time because I know there's a lot of you who do exactly this. You're struggling to provide for your family, and your family isn't even supportive of you. I really feel for those folks out there. And when you see the results for your hard work and the money coming in, it's okay. But when those times are tough is when you really figure out who you are. And, you know, Q4 is not here yet. Not that it's the end all and be all. That's the other thing. It's like, you know, just because Q4 is here doesn't mean it's necessarily going to turn around, but it tends to a little bit for most of us. Plus, you start getting through your death pile if you stop sourcing, but that's always helpful. But when I talk to my boy out there, I would love to go watch his baseball games. I'm going to take him to practice here in a second and see him hit a home run or whatever, or to get the final out in a game or make a great play or whatever. I love to see that. Who doesn't love to see that? But if when he fails, he turns into a poor sport and a moper and a crier and whatever, I would trade all those great times to not see that. Because that's what when you meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same. So when things are going really, really well, we tend to turn it off. It's like, oh, things are going fine. And then all of a sudden, 2 weeks later, you're like, oh man, this stinks. You know, and there's a lot of us like that. And, you know, when these difficulties come in reselling, you obviously shouldn't turn it off. Well, maybe sometimes you might make that decision. Yeah, I'm going to be done with it, right? But don't be done with it until you're done with it. You keep striving and you keep pushing. And let me tell you, right now is the time to push. If you've got stuff for the fall, for the winter that isn't listed, just push yourself. I can almost promise you, you are going to see the results. You're going to put in that work now. The second part of that, you know, when you meet with triumph, when you meet with disaster, treat those two imposters just the same. In other words, I really respect people. I used to tell this to my ball players all the time. When we win and when we lose, of course we're going to celebrate. We're going to do whatever. But when we lose tells me more about you than anything else. If you're going to walk off that field and chuck your glove or do whatever, hang your head, I tell this to Turner all the time, your body language tells me more about you than your play on the field. If he just gave up a home run and he just asked for the next ball and gets back and throws the next pitch, I'm going to be proud of him if he lost the game or if he won the game. And we're going to get into the nuts and bolts of this here in a second. This next sale right here, y'all, Antiquity.com, but you're going to see this is going to kind of lead into some announcements you're going to start. So you're going to see a lot of news, and a lot of it's going to be interesting, and I'm just waiting for the reactions. It's going to be, that's kind of why I'm not talking about some of the other stuff that's going on right now. We will have to see. This went to Thrift Trip and Mimi. This went to Mimi. Mimi is a good friend, a great person, just love her to death. And she grabbed this. We put it out there at a good price over there, $15 and shipping for her. And check this one out. Jess saw that one sold and she's like, we got to get rid of these. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I love them. We got bins and bins. This one is super cool. We are going to list this one over on dibdit.com. And that'll be part of what is coming. You might have already seen some announcements, but I doubt it. Lots of big news coming. This one is going to be on dibdit.com. We'll put a good price on it, y'all. Perfect fall color, granny square, and that'll be there till somebody grabs it. I think expectations are a big thing in all of our lives, just in general. But I think some of you old-time resellers out there chime in and help these newbies out here. Sometimes it's just a matter of perspective. When I talk to somebody like that, I've only had 7 sales, which, you know, whatever. Sometimes it's somebody who just started reselling 2 months ago and they got 100 items in their store. And maybe they haven't perfected how they're doing what they're doing yet. And it's like 7 sales in a month. Yeah, that's not great. But, you know, this is early stages here. It's this continued push. I mean, listen, y'all, we're shipping, I don't know, 17 things out of here today, 18, something like that. And I have 1,800 things in my store. I think that's part of the controversy when you post stuff over there on social media and shorts and stuff. It's like, oh, you made one. I ain't even sold it yet. You know, some of that stuff. Dragon Ball Z, this thing is kind of cool. Picked this up at a sale and I don't even know what I paid for it. But I know what I sold it for. Sold for $25.95 plus shipping. Just put that in a 4x4x48 tube. Should be good. Here's a good strategy that I've employed in the past when time, because, you know, sometimes you, like I said, you're clawing for that money to make the next, you know, to pay the next bills or whatever. Sometimes I'll keep an item back that I know I can sell, and even on auction, if sometimes it's a piece of gold, a gold necklace or something, or you know, a video game you know is going to sell as soon as you list it, if you list it just for the right price. And I'll keep a few of those items back for those slow weeks when you need a little bit of money. And that is one little strategy too. And another one, and people don't like to hear this, is, hey, if you got to sell stuff and you got to pay the bills, you got to do whatever, you know, put your items on a little bit of a discount. Give it a little bit of a boost. And sometimes that works. Or when you're listing new items, put it out there at the market or below the market. Not drop the heck out of the thing. That's not what I'm saying. But sometimes you got to do that to get stuff going. We're actually in selling mode right now, y'all. And so I'm listing items. I'm not putting much above the market. I'm putting it at the market or just a tick below, but usually right at it. But honestly, if I was a new seller, I would try to get some sales under my belt. It's tough being new sometimes. Sometimes it requires that price, and the one thing people always miss is that shipping price as well. When you're comping stuff, look at what they're shipping stuff for. Are you competitive in both? Punch time. This one I've had a long time. This could have been one of those items I kept back because I never did list it. It's just been sitting there. But this one has actually been listed for a little while. Sealed Punch Time Explosion Cartoon Network Nintendo 3DS. This thing sold for $59.95 plus shipping. Y'all, this feels like a disjointed video for me because my phone's been ringing off the hook in between every single take. This will be an interesting week coming up. Hopefully you guys are along for the ride. And it's making me want to read this whole poem because I think I need all of it. We'll do it at the end of the video for those of you who need a little pep talk for sure. This sale was kind of cool. I bought 2 of these, 2 for $10, I think. And 1 sold, and now the, oh, that's not even it. Is it? It's a Radio Shack item, but I don't think this is it. Hold on a minute. Sometimes box stuff that's kind of toy action goes over here, and that's what this is. Radio Kit Shortwave Science Fair. That one sold for just under $18. I couldn't walk away from it because that ladder was leaning against my leg. So, like I said, not a huge winner, but we had 2 of them, so it was a multi-quantity listing, and this one is sold as well. You know, there truly is zero substitute for hard work. The hard work doesn't always pay the way you want it to pay, but I can promise you if you don't put in the hard work, it ain't gonna pay at all. I thought, yes, I found it. First try, look at me. These I picked up at a sale, no comp whatsoever, but it was so cheap I just kept picking stuff up. Super Bowl bookends from San Diego, California. Hear my dad out there mowing. Sorry, y'all. I gotta take turn of practice. I'll have to finish the video later. $24.95 for those, plus shipping, and I don't think there was any comps. I could be wrong about that. Hey, do me a favor in the comments. Tell us exactly how things are going. If they're going good or if they're going bad, because I think it'll be an encouragement either way. You know, it's not like a misery loves company kind of thing. That's, you want to avoid that for sure. But just to show you, I guarantee if you look down in those comments, there will be people that are killing it right now, and there will be people that are struggling mightily right now. Talk to each other a little bit down there in those comments, and I want to look at them. I promise you I'll read them. You know, one of the criticisms of me sometimes is, you know, you make reselling sound so easy to everybody, and you're leading people down this path, and you're a liar and whatever. I'm like, you don't hear that on this channel. Reselling is hard, y'all. It's hard. I don't even show the hardest parts of this business. I show the sale. I don't even show the shipping. I don't show the listing process. Reselling is hard. So if you're new and struggling out there, you might not be struggling. This might just be how hard it is. Anyway, a Rolling Stones hat. That one sold for 13. I don't think this was not one of our Easier listings. But we have been selling a bunch of hats lately. This one sold for $13.96 plus shipping, which was on discount, which tells you this stuff sits around sometimes. It's a constant effort, a constant movement to get stuff going, and it is hard work. You quite literally have to beat other resellers to the punch, not as just in the sourcing, but in the selling as well. And it's work. So these are some nap boots. Here's a great example. These, I bought these last fall, y'all. Last fall, 30% off, $48.97 nap. Old school boots, like those old Fonzie boots right there. Almost 50 bucks plus shipping. Turner's here, ready for practice. Almost hit me in the head with the bat. All right, I'll go out there, bud. So looks like I'll have to get the rest when I come back, so you won't know it. NWO decals and a Goldberg school cap. 766 and 766. We got a cat. We're gonna go get a cat hat out of the back. Blue's mom was in here shipping because I had to take Turner to practice, and I'm not gonna finish this video. A little vintage cat hat here. Blue's mom was off to go pick up Reagan. Maybe she can get in. We haven't had Reagan in here in a while. I don't think we have any sales, but she does have to ship a sale. So anyway, cat hats, $13 and change, $13.96 plus shipping. The next hat is awesome. My favorite hat of the year so far. It's not the most valuable one, but I found it in this lot of hats, and I was pulling out, you know, winners and stuff, and this one was going to have no comp. At least I don't think so. And I put a good price on it, and it sold. Hats have been going. Finally, I struggled like crazy this year to sell hats. There are some vintage golf hats that do well. Cobra, this is a high, what do you call it? What are you talking? Not brim. Brim? I don't know what you call it. Anyway, this Cobra hat, King Cobra, it's Cobra before it became King Cobra, I believe. And it's a swingster. There was no comps. It was in good condition. I found it at this estate sale, and there was 2 of them. $32 plus shipping is what I put it out there for, and that's what it sold for. And I don't think there was any comps on that particular one. If you go way back on the Picker channel, there was a sale that I took about as much heat as I took off of anybody, because this guy looking at his wife looked like a, you know, older couple, and they had cars, Pixar cars, and I bought all of them, and I basically just gave him half of what he wanted, less than that, I think, because a lot of them don't sell for a bunch of money. But I was just kind of betting on the nostalgia angle. I don't know why this one never sold, but it finally did, and it did not sell. This is the only one I have left right here, and it's out there for decent money. But boy, we made a bunch of money off of this pretty quick. This is the last one. It is a Ramon Cars. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And we sold a bunch of these. There's big differences in some of these. I don't know why this one didn't go really good, but it didn't. It took forever. It's finally gone. Actually, it says 0 available, so this is probably multi-quantity, so this one took forever. It's only $7 plus shipping, but we made profit on that like after the first 5 cars. Hey, if you are really struggling right now, this is the time. I run sales all the time, 30% off if they've been in the store a long time. But if you don't run sales, in my opinion, and tell me if I'm wrong out there in the comments, and that's okay, but if you typically don't, and you're kind of prepping, you need a little extra, we all need extra money in Q4, we gotta buy these Christmas presents. This is a good time to look at those older items and just say, you know what, they've been around too darn long, and put them on a good sale and see if you can't get them gone now, and then really get going and roaring and ready to go for all the new listings and stuff for the fall and for Q4. I would say about 1/3 of these sales that are headed out of here today. I thought there was viewer sales. I don't see any messages, but I know, listen, if you bought some of this stuff, thank you. It's very much appreciated. This thing, where the heck is it? I thought I brought it in here the other day. Maybe I left it out there. I bought a bunch of DVDs the other day. Yeah, I think it's going to be out there. You know, it is almost nighttime already, and I still got some shipping, but thank you to Blue Ridge Mama for helping me out. Yeah, we just got this stuff up on eBay, and I bet you anything it is in here. Anybody want a Tea Party hostess costume? And there it is right here. There it is. I think this is it. Sex and the City, the complete series. Now, I don't know if you can see me or not, but I thought on the walk back I would promo the Sega. On the 2nd, September 2nd. You don't have to be there. All you gotta do is go over to dibdit.com and look in the trending and just put a $1 offer. That's from Rod Picking and Punching. So, very generous of him. And come on over and join us on Dibdit for Q4. I'm telling you, you can get crazy good deals on some Christmas gifts. I was at a sale and I scooped up a ton of DVDs and stuff because they were super cheap, and I saw a Dogma Blu-ray in there. I'm like, that's going to pay for like everything I buy at this whole yard sale. So I just started grabbing a ton of stuff. This one wasn't a particular winner, but it was only 50 cents. So it's even got a little thing right there. But it sold for $12.95 plus shipping. And it is fall, and football stuff is starting to pop as well. This is not a big sale. Matter of fact, I think this was ours. They're Hokie t-shirts. They weren't in here very long, I don't believe. But it's Hokie. Yep, those are 2 Hokie t-shirts. And it might have been I don't know where to get it. This stuff, you know, my wife's a Hokie fan. Well, I am too, I guess, sort of. Even though I'm really a Bruin fan, but that's okay. Virginia Tech Hokies. And that only sold for $10, but you know what? If it was ours, better than donating it, I guess, plus shipping. The Pied Piper of kitties is in here, Reagan, and she doesn't have anybody to thank, but she has to ship that thing we didn't do yesterday. That's Toulouse. What are you doing? What are you doing with your cats? Check it out, y'all. That is a sweet, sweet blanket. I love. Oh, you can't get on there. No cat hair on the blanket. We'll have to control these cats. Anyway. Check it out, dibdit.com. $14.95 plus shipping, and I promise you there'll be no cat hair. I'm going to clean it up. All right, like I said, I've been trying to deal with all kinds of stuff that's going on, and it's difficult. You know, I put myself in these positions, so I can't complain. But I try to do the right thing by so many people, and sometimes that requires having a little bit of a backbone, and which I do, but I have to be pushed up against it before I use that backbone. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowances for their doubting too. I love the secondary parts of this. This is really good. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good, nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master. I'm a dreamer, y'all, if you haven't figured that out yet. If you can think and not make thoughts your aim. If you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same. If you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken. That's a good one. Twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools. The truth that you've spoken that's twisted by others to make a trap for foolish people. Or watch the things you gave your life to broken. And stoop, I get a little emotional, y'all. This was a tough time in my life when I clung on to this thing for sure. Or watch the things you gave your life to broken and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. That happened twice in my life. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on where there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth the distance run, yours is the earth, and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son. I love that. Love that. I'll tell you, print that sucker out and put it somewhere. There will be times, all the time in your life, if you're down, and this is a reselling channel, but this is a great, great poem. And I just want to share that one more time. I do it like once or twice a year, and I did it right there. So thank y'all. I can't thank y'all enough for the support that I get all the time. It's undeserved, but I really appreciate it, and I hope I contribute somehow to what you do every single day, and I hope your sales pick up if they're down, and I hope they stay hot if they're hot. Appreciate you, and I can't wait to see you next time.
What?
Hey, Reagan, do you think this is Wednesday? What do you think?
I don't know.
It's actually like called Susie Sad Eyes. Should I market it on eBay as Wednesday doll?
No.
I don't know if I'd be allowed. That thing's pretty cool. It's actually worth good money. Kind of nice.